Hi, Lee Phillips again. I want to talk about the Trilogy. It's a full ventilator. It's called a non-invasive ventilator in that it doesn't go down the throat like a trach tube. But today they don't use the trach tube very often. In fact, the Trilogy takes care of most of it. We have a big lock line here, and it holds the tubes for the air that comes out of the Trilogy, and it just plugs in over here on this side. I've taken the Trilogy hose and I've actually put shoe goo on it because it breaks right here. So if you put shoe goo on it when it's new, and we did one on shoe goo, it then holds it in place and it doesn't break. So we bring it in and we put it in there, and then the tube runs up. I just use a little piece of wire and wire it around the lock line. They call this stuff lock line. We're going to have a YouTube on the lock line as well. And then it can come over to the air mask. We took the headrest cover off and sewed a little piece of Velcro on it, and sewed a strap on the back of it. The tube comes up, Velcro's in, and then it sits there and attaches into the air hose, whatever type of a mask you're using. I actually just shoe gooed this one, so I used some tape to hold it in place while I shoe gooed it, and it dried. But then it just fits into the air mask. The Trilogy is a very sophisticated animal. We just hung it on the back of the wheelchair. There were a couple of posts that come up and they hang things on the post. For example, the remote control, the third-party control for the wheelchairs here on the posts. But the posts were there and we just hung it with a strap on the back of the wheelchair. I actually got this strap independent of the Trilogy. It had one, but it didn't work as well. So the Trilogy, you just turn it on and your respiratory people are going to explain it to you and work with you on it, and it starts to pump air. It is very sophisticated, and we didn't use it anywhere near its capacity before Christy died, but it will compensate for the individual. It senses the circuits, it does all sorts of stuff. You turn it off by hitting the power button, and then it asks you, do you want to turn it off, and you hit yes, and it turns off. You rent the Trilogies. Medicare will pay for them. We had a Trilogy and a BiPAP. We'll do another YouTube video on the BiPAP. Christy liked the BiPAP because it had the humidity in it. Let's go in and show them the humidity setup system for the Trilogy, all right?